for us to hear this lecture, we invited a very famous jazzman, the people's artist of the Russian Federation, a philanthropist, a producer, a man who's a legend in world jazz, Maestro Igor Butman. Maestro, please. The moderator of tonight's session is going to be the executive director of Igor Butman's music group, Roman Kristюк. Please welcome. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure and honor to be, I think, for the first time in the Russian Cultural Center. And especially to talk about the music that I've been playing for so long. And of course, I know the history of jazz music overall, and of course in Russia, what was happening. And so me and Roman, we will talk about a little bit of, I mean, we can't say the whole history, but we will talk about how it was started in the Soviet Union, how it was banned, how it was cultivated, and how it was making maybe a great art form. Then it was banned from the scene. Then you couldn't even say the word jazz. So there was this came new version of pop music in the Soviet Union, variety music, orchestra, variety theater, whatever. But still, the music was there. Talented people were very, many talented people play jazz under different names or whatever. But I think the fear of the communism was just you can't control what the jazz musician is going to play. I mean, music is a tool of anything. You know, people go to war with the music. People go to fight. You know, music is, we have a national anthem when we hold the hand in our heart. So music is very powerful, so that's why if you have a score, then you know what it is there. You take the Shostakovich, you know, here he meant something that we cannot control, but they can see it. In jazz, what to expect from the jazz musician. So that's the beginning of the story, but Roman has to say something. He's looking at me like I'm supposed to stop.
Never. I just wanted to ask you to
use the mic?
Yeah, to use the microphone.
Should I say it again?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's so great to be here with you, and thank you so much for a great introduction to the lecture, Mr. Butman. And what do you think? Maybe we can start with a small movie that we prepared, a small movie about the history of Russian jazz, if you don't mind.
История российского джаза началась без малого 100 лет назад. Но сегодня мы эту историю повернем вспять, из настоящего в прошлое и в будущее. Джаз с триумфом ворвался в жизнь современной России. Его принимают на самом высоком уровне. На наших глазах российский джаз превратился в серьезную культурную институцию. Ширится география джазовых фестивалей. Гастроли мировых звезд стали обычным явлением. Как всегда, активны джазовые критики, многочисленные учебные заведения выпускают профессиональных джазменов, и даже телевидение не отстает. Но главное, в стране выросло молодое поколение ярких и амбициозных артистов, у которых есть свои творческие идеи и есть своя публика. Сегодня джаз снова становится искусством молодых. Однако для того, чтобы все это случилось, надо было много поработать в нулевые годы. С нуля поднимать джазовую жизнь в столице и регионах, открывать клубы, привозить звезд, организовывать международные джазовые фестивали и даже переводить джаз на самоокупаемость. И здесь энергия одного человека, Игоря Бутмана, заменяла порой целые организации. А в результате все получилось. Но перед этим, именно в бурные 80-е и лихие 90-е годы, наш джаз получил мощный творческий импульс. Это было время экспериментов не только в политике и экономике, но и в искусстве. Эпоха свободного джаза в самом широком смысле слова. В России появилось целое поколение бескомпромиссных артистов, для которых не было авторитетов, но главным стал поиск нового джазового драйва. Это было непростое для джаза время. Но именно в эти годы у наших джазменов появилась возможность свободно ездить по миру, учиться, работать и переносить новый опыт на родную почву, чем многие с успехом воспользовались. И при этом им удалось сохранить лучшие традиции отечественного джаза. 70-е годы. Если в политике они считаются временем застоя, то для нашего джаза это расцвет. Джаз становится настоящим профессиональным искусством. В филармониях успешно работают джазовые коллективы, многие из них впоследствии станут легендарными. Фирма «Мелодия» выпускает пластинки с записями выдающихся советских джазменов, джаз звучит по всесоюзному радио и центральному телевидению, его начинают преподавать в училищах и вузах. Джаз взаимодействует с симфонической и камерной музыкой, с фольклором и арт-роком. Тон задают профессионалы. Именно они сформировали облик отечественного джаза на многие годы вперед. Николай Левиновский, Анатолий Кролл, Герман Лукьянов, Игорь Бриль, Леонид Чижик, Алексей Козлов. Но этот расцвет отечественного джаза был бы невозможен, если бы не легендарная эпоха, которая вошла в историю под названием «Оттепель». Именно джаз во многом оказался ее музыкальным символом. Новые ощущения свободы принесли с собой молодые люди, готовые играть джаз хоть круглые сутки. Многие из них были академическими музыкантами, некоторые любителями, но и те, и другие обладали самозабвенной любовью к джазу. Это были люди военного и послевоенного поколения с разным жизненным и музыкальным опытом, но именно они сделали российский джаз таким, каким мы его знаем. Юрий Саульский, Георгий Горонян, Геннадий Гольштейн и, конечно, Олег Лунстром. Годы Великой Отечественной войны стали для джазовых музыкантов по-настоящему героическим временем. Песня и джаз согревали сердца людей на фронте и в тылу. Это был отголосок той светлой и счастливой жизни, за которую на кровавый бой с фашизмом встала вся страна. Война окончилась, в стране началась мирная жизнь. И тут произошло событие необычайно важное для отечественного джаза. Из Китая в Советский Союз приехал Олег Лунстром и его биг-бенд, на сегодняшний день старейший джазовый оркестр в мире. Предвоенное десятилетие. Его можно назвать золотым веком отечественного джаза. Джаз стал популярной музыкой той эпохи, а в некоторых случаях музыкой народной. Джаз пришел на эстраду в обнимку с песней, и таким его полюбила вся страна. Количество оркестров исчислялось сотнями. Джаз звучал повсюду – на танцплощадках и перед киносеансами, в ресторанах и на концертной эстраде. Джаз вырастил своих новых героев, и именно они создавали музыку, которую потом назвали классикой советского джаза. Это Александр Цфасман, Николай Минх, Александр Варламов, Генрих Терпеловский, Виктор Кнушевицкий и, конечно, легендарный Леонид Утесов. А сегодня классикой стала вся история российского джаза. И эта история свидетельствует: наш джаз энергичен, молод и непредсказуем. А главное, у него есть будущее.
So maybe we can start with how it all began. Maybe we can start with the main figures of the jazz and of the early ages of jazz in Russia.
You know, the jazz music captured the whole world, yeah, of course, sooner or later it's supposed to come to Russia, but then Russia becomes the Soviet Union. And this big enthusiast of music, Valentin Parnakh, when he went to Paris, he saw that American jazz group, New Orleans style group, and then he brought instruments of that the musicians were used to, besides normal instruments, regular instruments. He brought the drum set. First of all, he brought some cowbells and some percussion instruments, and he just gave a lecture like I'm here in Washington D.C. giving a lecture about Soviet jazz. He was talking about American jazz and the jazz form, and I think played some recordings, and then he because he was himself amateur musician, so then he put it a concert, and it's like a explosion of a bomb, explosion of something. People start. A lot of musicians just really talented musicians pick on their instruments and they start trying to improvise. And someone who has good ears and knowledge and harmony picked it very quick. And then the people that mentioned at the latest in the movie, like Mink and Varlamov, it's fascinating. They all Dunayevsky, they all kind of felt the jazz music, felt the harmony, felt the swing, so-called, and they started playing. And they were very popular. And that popularity actually caused them a lot of problems at some point, because there was some jealous musicians who said that this is music from the United States. That's one thing. But then there was also, as far as I know, there were some not very good musicians who would, when people told them that they don't play well, they say, "Oh, you don't understand jazz." Yeah. It's jazz. You don't understand it. It's good. People say, "I don't like it." They say, "You don't like it because you don't understand jazz." That's why people come to me and say, "Oh, you know." If I invite them to the concert, they say, "We don't understand jazz." I said, "Come to our concert, or come to the concert of the really great jazz musicians and orchestras. Then you don't have to understand. Do you understand classical music? Yes, I understand. What do you mean you understand? You know the harmony, you know the melody, you know the form of the symphony. No, but I understand. It means you like it. If you understand, you like it, or love it." And so there was a group of people, so-called proletarsky музыканты. There was an organization with proletarian musicians, but there was some kind of funny name. But anyway, so they were against everything but what they were playing. And people like Shostakovich was very interested in jazz music. He had a jazz suite. He went to the concert. I have a record, I have an LP, I still have it. It's Cannibal Adderley in San Francisco. And the liner note, it says that Dmitry Shostakovich was in the audience. And of course, when some people talk about Russian, they say they don't smile. But we don't smile when we don't eat. But Shostakovich was very serious, listening, trying to get all that energy from the music. Then he just was smiling when Louis Hayes played, the drummer played the solo. But he was there at the concert. And so the music came, and it's really, everybody loved jazz. And Leonid Utesov, as our biggest pop idol and the jazz, and the jazz orchestra, he started the theatrical jazz. So he was saying, he has even a miniature on TV when he says that the jazz came not from New Orleans, it came from Odessa. But which is true. How can I not agree with you? But you see, Odessa is like New Orleans, is also a city on the sea, the Black Sea. It's a big port, a lot of different people coming, a lot of different culture there. Russians, Ukrainian, Jews, Moldavian, you name it, they were there. So they brought all their culture, their music to one place. So then Joseph was saying that how the music started, and that's very, very interesting, and very funny and very talented. Look how he explain how the bass goes, boom, 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 then little triangle, so and then wow. So and jazz was popular, and then we had this comedy that called jazz comedy, a movie, one of the most popular movies of all time, and it's musical and it's funny and it's beautiful and great music by Isaac Dunayevsky. And there was the period till Maxim Gorky, our famous writer, went to United States. And something he went to a bad concert. But that's the problem. He went to the bad concert. And then he wrote an article in the newspaper, Pravda, really bad, putting all jazz down, saying that it's music for bourgeois. Music is have no soul, that music has no, doesn't have anything. And so probably he went where they didn't play well, but they called it jazz. It sometimes happens, even in the United States, there's some places not as, people play not very good. And that's after that, the jazz was really in a bad position. Musicians were called gangsters, they were called traitor of Soviet Union for no reason. Like, if you think of who is defected from Soviet Union, the least number is jazz musicians, the least. And then they defected by mistake. But anyway, so the music was there, but they stopped using the word jazz for that. It was still, I mean, it was a big band, it was still Koslevitsky, Mink, Varlamov, the old bands, they were there. In St. Petersburg, there was Simon Kagan, the pianist, who had a really good band there, Alexander Tsvasman. But no, until, and they was prohibited until I think, this movie made me a little confused.
Maybe 70s?
No, not 70s. When Benny Goodman came in 1962, Benny Goodman came with his orchestra and he had a big tour of many cities in the Soviet Union, State Department tour. There was a better time in the relationship between the United States and the Soviet Union. So Benny Goodman was ambassador of peace, ambassador of music, ambassador of everything. And Benny Goodman was one of the first American jazz musicians, white jazz musicians who had black African American in his band. It was Lionel Hampton, and then he used some other musicians, but they had a quartet: Jim Cooper, Benny Goodman, Lionel Hampton. It was a famous quartet. So he came. And after that, the Komsomol, this young wing of this Communist Party, they were chosen to make jazz music heard again. So they started to put together jazz festivals in Moscow, St. Petersburg, Donetsk, Yaroslavl, Kiev, Tallinn, all this places in the Soviet Union, they were jazz. But the musicians who played jazz, they were not considered a professional jazz musician. They were considered like an amateur. They never, they couldn't get the professional status in official concert organization. That happened only in 1976, 1977, and on that time, when really official organization accepted jazz music as a professional art form, and then there was immediately put together some very interesting orchestras and groups that start playing professionally. And at the same time, in the colleges and conservatories, they opened the jazz departments. And that's when I got into college, where they were teaching the jazz. So I was lucky. I didn't have to sort of hide, or I didn't have to work somewhere in a restaurant and maybe play a little bit of jazz music as a musician, not classical. If you're classical, you can be in a concert, in orchestras, or in the theater. But as a jazz musician, where to play? You could play only work in a restaurant as a musician, but then play very little jazz. But then when this happened, I studied jazz in Russia. I'm working with one of the best jazz bands in St. Petersburg with David Goloshokin, multi-instrumentalist, really talented musician, who now director of the Jazz Philharmonic Hall, the only jazz philharmonic in basically the world. And it's a beautiful place where they play all kinds of jazz, from New Orleans jazz to contemporary. Then I went to Oleg Lundstrom Big Band. I worked there for 1 year, but I was fired. I mean, not fired, but I had to write по собственному желанию, my own wish. Because at some point, Russian government forbid musicians, not from to work with musicians from other cities in Moscow. You don't have a registration, you don't have a Moscow green card, so-called.
See, now it's much easier to be a jazz man in Russia.
It's much easier to be a jazz man, yes. It's much easier. So I was basically I had to leave that orchestra after 1 year. Then somehow I managed the green card from Moscow, and a year later I joined Nikolainovsky ensemble, Allegro, who was also professional, one of the best jazz group in the world. I think, I believe it now too. So I was lucky, but many musicians couldn't make their career as a jazz musicians to be a serious career as a jazz musician, and also we didn't have any access to outside world. That's another problem. Let's say Benny Goodman immediately invites some Russian jazz musicians to come to the United States. Gennady Goldstein, Konstantin Nosov, and some musicians that he met in Moscow. He invited them. They were needed in Soviet Union.
So, when do you think the expansion of Russian jazz abroad started, and how it started?
How started what?
The expansion of Russian jazz abroad.
No, it started as soon as actually before the collapse of the Soviet Union. They opened, the Gorbachev made the easier laws for traveling. So many musicians had the opportunity to come to Europe and the United States and to study, to live, to work, to get some experience. And I think it was not, because we were close, there was not that many world-class musicians that could do impact on the jazz music. Now it's different. Now when we started a few years ago, so-called Foreign Fest, Jazz Across Borders, then we started introducing the jazz musicians from Russia to a wide audience, a wide professional audience from all over the world, from Indonesia, from India, from China, from Europe, from the United States. We had some musicians who got some engagement with the big festivals in Europe and the United States and Japan. And that's when the young musicians who now been introduced to the world and they could travel, they can learn, especially with the internet. We didn't have anything. I had to buy one LP that I was buying on the black market. I was making, I think, 200 rubles a month, and the record cost 50 rubles. So I could, on my pay, I could buy 4 albums.
And Star.
Huh?
And Star.
Yeah. Yes. Or one record and, you know, eat a lot. No, because the vinyl record in Russian store. Actually, we had, you know what? I went to Baku to my friend, very famous Russian journalist Mikhail Guzman, and he brought me not to his house, but we went to some place, and at that place I saw LP Melodia with musicians that I didn't know that these records were existed in Russian market. But they cost 2 rubles 15 kopecks. 15 rubles and 2 rubles. So if there would be records, I would have a big collection of my money. I could buy only 4. I was living with my parents, so they had to work hard to feed me while I was practicing and buying a record.
Thank you. So maybe we can show a small video of what Jazz Across Borders is all about to give an impression, to give an idea of what Jazz Across Borders is all about to the audience.
Общее впечатление, конечно, еще больше эмоций, еще больше хорошего настроения, еще больше, так сказать, желания вновь приехать. И мы видим, что мы делаем это не зря. Мы делаем это для себя. Мы делаем это для наших музыкантов. Мы делаем это для, так сказать, нашей культурной элиты, да, что мы показываем всем, что джаз, он нужен, он интересен. Большое спасибо, дорогие друзья. И вперед! Джаз Across Borders открыт. Давайте работать, слушать и восхищаться.
Мне нравится, что у вас то, что я называю упаковка языка.
I would say jazz is a passion, and to follow your passion and to work hard to continue to spread the music, because it is an art form that is growing and breathing, and follow your passion.
Дорогой джаз, ты — универсальный язык, который позволяет людям быть свободным.
Exactly. You got the feeling you're talented, which is very, very helpful. She's talented, isn't she?
The platform that Jazz Across Borders offers for direct and personal contact with everyone in the industry all over the world, that's invaluable.
I think that jazz is a great companion in life, and it has inspired so many people, and it inspired us for sure.
Нам был непросто выбрать, но мы определились и приглашаем к нам на 5-й фестиваль Сколково Jazz Science коллектив The Settlers.
I mean, the wonderful thing about jazz is that it's always changing, you know, it's always new. So we jazz musicians, we try to always do something new. So we can, you know, there will never be a situation where it's 2 times the same. So this is, for me, this is the magic of this music.
Это интеллектуальная музыка, она для меньшинства, и она требует понимания. Это музыка, это как, я не знаю, то есть это требует собственного вложения энергетического, это требует мыслительного процесса.
Я считаю, что можно прожить достойную жизнь, занимаясь только джазовой музыкой чистой.
If jazz would be a person, it would be the person that I dream of every night. I can tell you it's probably a woman. It's probably a very humorous woman. It's a very talented woman, and I think she's beautiful.
Добрый вечер, дорогие друзья. Сегодня мы завершаем третий Jazz Across Borders форум-фест в рамках Санкт-Петербургского культурного форума. And this was the third Forum Fest Jazz Across Borders within the International Cultural Forum in St. Petersburg. And you know, one of our leaders said that the musicians, the artists, you build the bridges between nations. Then he said that we politicians burn them, and then you build them again. So that's what we try to build a bridge for jazz music.
So that's exactly all about building bridges. And I wanted to ask you to tell more about the role of jazz in the diplomacy field, about jazz diplomacy.
You know, but for jazz musicians to get together and create some music, you don't need actually the music. You don't need the charts. You don't need the music sheet. You know the jazz standards, and then you play them. So even if you don't speak any languages, then you can just play it together. So which means that then you will find some kind of a way to communicate without an instrument. First of all, if you really play good, then the friendship is mutual immediately. Sometimes people come, they can't play, they go on stage, try to play, you want to kill them. And if there's this real story about how the bebop, the music that was brought to a new form of jazz improvisation, I would say. The Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie brought. One of the reasons they start playing the way they were playing is because they try to get not very good musicians off the stage. First of all, they were coming up with a new composition that was not easy to play, but then they were coming up with some chords progression that if you don't have a good hearing, or you don't know them, or you don't expect them, then you would have to leave the stage because you would be embarrassed if you start playing. So, but if you play good, then immediately you find something that you can talk with your fellow musician. And it happened to me when Pat Metheny came to Soviet Union in 1987, and I went with him. Mort Allen was a good friend of a jazz musician. He was a consulate general at the consulate of the United States in St. Petersburg. He always, as any musicians were coming to St. Petersburg, he was calling me and said, Kurekin to meet these musicians. So I went to the airport. I was cheering Pat Metheny at the airport. Then we were on a bus together when they were going to the hotel. And then we just walked on the Nevsky Prospect from the Alexander Nevsky Laura. Laura. To the Hermitage and back. And we talk about music, about politics, about women, about life, and it was a beautiful, I think it was June 19th, 1980.
Late night.
Yes, but it was a daytime, but it was but it was a beautiful day, and beautiful weather, and so we walked and talked. And I actually convinced him to do a jam session with the Russian musicians. And he said to me, Igor, we'd love to play with you, when we go to places, we love to hang out with musicians and play jam sessions, but you need to organize the food for us. Food in Russia is not really, it was time that you can organize something good. You can organize котлеты, сосиски, sausages, frankfurter. But I said, we will organize. So organize some good. Vodka will be sure. He said, that's a good point. So we played, and I remember that, Hamilton is playing, Laume is playing. And I'm playing my solo, and I have Hamilton, his road manager, talking to my ear. I'm playing solo. All the things you are, and then I hear my ear, Igor, we need 2 more steaks, and I said, Brian, we'll be soon. We'll be finished and I'm good. And it was so funny, but they were everything was very impressed with our playing. And when I came here, he was, he helped me a lot to get a full scholarship at Berkeley, as well as Gary Burton, who also came in 1981 with Chick Corea and Willis Conover. The legendary Willis Conover came to Russia. I met him, and I told him I'm going to be really good. And in 81, I remember that Sergei Kuryukhin, a Russian famous figure, composer and pianist, he came to me and says, Igor, do you want to go to Chick Corea and Gary Burton concert? I said, why are you trying to hurt me? There's no concert of Chick Corea. Chick Corea is one of the greatest musicians, and I love him, and I would love to see him, but he's not coming. There's no posters, no advertising, no nothing. And I would have known if Chick Corea would come. He said, no, it would be at the American consulate. So, and that's when I went and I saw for the first time in my life such a great artist together. And then I came to Chick, and I said, Chick, can we, I don't know when the next time you come, can we play one blues so we have something, we have some musicians here, and we will have something to tell our grandkids that we played with you. And Chick says, Igor, we have like 2 hours before the train, so we can play the full jam session, not only blues. And we played, but he said there's no instrument. And it was like, maybe half an hour before the concert, I had conversation. So in half an hour, we found the drum set, the bass, but actually only I had a saxophone. I brought saxophone just in case. So we had a great jam session, we become friends. Every month I was receiving a letter from Chick Corea, just hello, how are you? I couldn't send him my tapes or anything. He couldn't hear my music, but I heard his, and one of my favorite records he recorded right after he was in Russia was Chick Corea 3 quartets. So I've been in touch with Chick, and finally in 2008 he recorded on my album. I did an album of music from Russian cartoons, Soviet cartoons, and kids movies. And Chick was on it, and it was a great pleasure to finally record with him. So that's then Grover Washington. I have to mention Grover Washington, who came in '86, and also I was impressed with the musicians that he heard, and we became friends. And, you know, I did even, he invited me to his album on Columbia Records, and I played a few songs on that album, and he recorded my composition called French Connection. And so that was another ambassador role all these musicians had. They came on a State Department tour. Grover Washington came as an ambassador of goodwill. There was a Chautauqua Institute. Yeah, so there's like 500 Americans came. One of them was Grover Washington. You were a participant? I was. You were? And then I went to Chautauqua in New York. It was a great time. You know, but another thing, what I loved, I become a star in a few minutes, because I came to Grover's dressing room and I saw the saxophone, the color that I never saw. I said, "What is?" He said, "Oh, it's a German instrument." He said, "You want to try it?" Like he didn't know who I mean, he knew that I'm a saxophone player. He got introduced by this Consul General Allen. I took his saxophone, started playing. He immediately, he had two saxophones, so even three, had alto, tenor. So he picked up tenor, and we did a duo immediately, because he came with the ABC television from Philadelphia. They were following him on that tour. They immediately came with the camera, so we played together. I was on the national team in the United States. And nobody in the Soviet Union knew about it. Then they want me to walk to, in the street. But another thing, we couldn't get, it was in Riga, but we couldn't get in. But we got an invitation to come to that concert. And there was a great man, the cultural attaché of the United States Embassy, Mark Toplin. And we couldn't get into the concert hall because we didn't have any invitations for that concert in Riga. And Mark Toplin said, I don't think he was bluffing, but he said, if Igor Butman is not in the audience, Grover Washington won't play. And it didn't work, actually. It didn't work with the security, because they don't know who's Igor Butman and who's Grover Washington. and they didn't know that he's supposed to play anyway, because it was a conference. But then Mark went and found the chief of that whole things from the Russian side, and the guy came down, put our name on the list, and then we were kings, me and my brother.
I wanted to ask you to say a few words about your dream coming true with International Jazz Day.
Oh, yes. Yes, you know that April 30th is an International Jazz Day. Yeah. Yes, and we celebrate before May 1st. So we start May 1st, day earlier. But it was, it's UNESCO. It's a UNESCO International Jazz Day. And it's a great thing, and it was done by Herbie Hancock and former Director General of UNESCO, Irina Bokova. And I was invited to the gala concert, first concert that was in Paris. And all the big names, all the stars, George Benson, Herbie Hancock, Hugh Masekela, Peter Bridgewater, many great musicians came, and I was invited also to that wonderful gala. And as soon as I walked in, and as soon as I saw the atmosphere, because it's not only concert, it's lectures, it's some showcases, some activities. But I said, we have to have it in Russia. And I spoke to Irina Bokova, and she said it's a great idea, but the next year it will be in Turkey. And the next year will be in Osaka. and the next year we'll be in Washington, D.C. It was again in Paris, then Washington, D.C., then it was in Cuba, in Havana, and then it was in Moscow, in St. Petersburg. So there was an amazing three days of music, of hanging out with musicians, with stars, and we had also Lyric an Hour, we had Herbie Hancock, we had everybody.
Robert Glasper.
Robert Glasper, you know, all this young and all the legends and the younger musicians from all over the world, which is very important, not only Russia and America, from all over the world, from Japan, from, I think this guy that plays, he's from Afghanistan or some kind of Asian.
Oh, yeah, he's got that name, yeah.
Yeah, and we have from Japan, of course. And yes, and it was, you know, it was an amazing International Jazz Day, and you know, and the way we did it, the Herbie Hancock Institute of Jazz, based in Washington D.C., said that it was one of the best. I wouldn't say the best, but it was one of the best International Jazz Day Gala concert, world jazz concert. And again, and we had some Russian musicians performing there on the highest level. Oleg Akuratov, you saw him last night. We were in the concert, the amazing line of pianist and vocalist who plays beautifully classical music and jazz and knows all the songs, and he sings in every language, any country we were. He was singing in Indian, in Hebrew, in Yiddish, in Latvian, in Chinese, in Japanese, anything. He's just an amazing talent. We had Evgeny Pogozhin, who won last year. Just talking about how Russia's musicians now on the world jazz scene. This last year in Washington D.C. at the Kennedy Center, our jazz guitarist Evgeny Pogozhin won the first prize in the Herbie Hancock International Jazz Guitar Competition. Oleg Akuratov again won second place in a vocal competition that was held in New Jersey, Sarah Vaughan vocal competition. So I think that also can break the stereotypes of Russia as not only land of Tchaikovsky, Pushkin, Gogol, Tolstoy, but also contemporary music. And that I believe that this also can show that we can talk in our differences, we can solve, because we are people that eager to learn, eager to communicate and everything. That's why I really believe in the jazz and music diplomacy. But classical music is one thing, but jazz is a young art form, and also you can improvise. I mean, if something goes wrong, you can go to another key.
Before we watch another movie about the International Jazz Day in St. Petersburg, I wanted to ask you how it happened. How would you explain this dramatic growth of Russian jazz? We have these winners of the international competitions. We have the biggest jazz event of the world being held in St. Petersburg, and we have a lot of jazz schools now. And how it all happened in just 30 years?
30 years is a lot of years. You know, it's happened that we've been working on it, and you too. All our festivals that we put it together, all the musicians that we invited to play in our club, our hospitality, your professionalism, my hospitality, or vice versa. And people see the interest of that music. I mean, this is especially when, you know, I've been traveling with some musicians many years ago throughout Siberia, Far East, you know, North. We've been in Norilsk, we've been in Kamchatka, how did my friends say? And they saw the interest of music. in Russian people, they're like, you know, young people at the concert. They're very enthusiastic, they're very active, they support musicians by clapping them, by smiling, by cheering. So then the rumors and then, you know, all this talks about that Russian loves music and especially jazz. That's why, and then there was a jam station in every city. You have some good ensembles, good players. Also, like Novosibirsk, Irkutsk. It's a great musicians. You know, St. Petersburg, of course, but also Kazan, the big city with a really amazing tradition in jazz, where like Lundström started his heritage in the Soviet Union. Then Ekaterinburg, Chelyabinsk, you know, there were a lot of jazz legends came from. They all then moved to Moscow because they were doing work as musicians, but there's still there some really young and really good musicians. So all the musicians that came, they saw it, they were talking about when they were coming back because people was asking, like, how is it in Russia? And they say this is great. And you know, if you read everything the interview about, like I can't say it, there's a few bad words, but he was saying that he loved Soviet Union, and he said that there's more sense there than even in his country, but he just didn't know what to expect and what was there. But now it's much better in all directions. So that's why we come and play. Almost every year we come twice a year we come to the United States and perform. We did the tours with our big band in the Midwest, in the cities that not a lot of Americans know. Yeah, seriously. I mean, my fellow musicians, they know cities where they play, you know. You know, like Columbus, Nebraska, Sheboygan, Wisconsin, you know. And then when I asked Rapid City,
Iowa.
yes.
It's also Rapid City.
No, it's South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Right. I was staying in a room where Reagan was staying, in a hotel. You know, we were there, and so it was a big bus tour, like an old time. We were on a bus for 12 hours, and we're going. And we played. So we played some really interesting places. We had great audience, great concert halls in high schools. I mean, like one was like Bolshoi Theater, right in a high school, and I was very, very impressed by that. And and then I saw every concert hall there had Stanway. With it was a gift from graduate from that school, and I went to Russia. I said, I have to get something from my school, and I did. And so learning. First of all, you by traveling, by talking, you're learning, and you're getting good things from each other. Anyway, so that's how we started, and then just people saw musicians, invite them to do collaboration, or then as we did our Jazz Across Borders and the first conference that we had, promoters, the big producers, they saw good musicians, they were impressed by them, then they liked them. And they did a good job, and especially when we come into America, basically we had 8 sold out shows at the Blue Note in New York just 3 days ago. So they made money. We made history. They made money.
So we hear more and more an opinion that jazz in Russia is becoming as popular and as big as jazz in the United States. What do you think about it?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. You know what? You can't say we it's not more popular. Jazz is not popular anywhere, but we're getting more and more audience, more and more interest, and I hope that it will grow. We're working hard on that, and I see how hard Wynton Marsalis, my dear friend, working on bringing jazz, bringing it to young people. He's performing all the time. He has this unique Jazz at Lincoln Center, where he had a jazz club and a concert hall and a radio and a studio and a school. He's teaching. So we all think that jazz is just a unique art form, and we work on that. So I hope it will be more popular everywhere, and we have to get our audience big with it, but we have the responsibility of play this music like we played every concert is like our last concert. Then we will have more and more audience. Unfortunately, in Europe they have these jazz festivals with the headliners. I have no relationship to jazz. Yes. Ricky Martin was a headliner of the Montreal Jazz Festival. It's a great jazz festival, but where's the jazz? So that's why Wynton and I were trying to protect what we do from everything that can make money, and using the word jazz, we're against it. Not aggressively, but we just, on our examples, we're trying to say that real jazz music can also make money and also be interesting for people.
Thank you so much. So let's give an opportunity to feel what the biggest jazz event in the history of Russian jazz was like. And I'm talking about International Jazz Day in 2018. So let's watch it.
Music of intellectual and emotional freedom.
Даже несколько лет назад было трудно себе представить, что это возможно в России, увидеть всех тех людей, на которых мы росли и на которых мы ориентируемся.
Jazz has enriched me in so many different ways and informed how I see life and how I see people.
Люди чувствуют, исполняют эту музыку вместе, и это объединяет, это огромная сила на самом деле в наши дни.
Ты можешь делать все, что хочешь, и интерпретировать, и выражать себя, как тебе нравится.
I realized that I can actually speak the language, and I remember it was an amazing experience.
Джаз, ну вы понимаете, это же океан целый. Настоящая музыка, другого нету. Это вот она настоящая, эта музыка.
Ничего не надо, только собраться. 1, 2, 3, 4, или 1, 2, 3, 4, или 1, 2, 3. Все.
You're fantastic. Yeah. Wow.
However, it's possible to cross cultural boundaries. Jazz is a diplomatic tool, and this is where jazz and Jazz Day take center stage.
Thank you so much. I think it's high time to move to the Q&A section. So if you would like to, you have a question, please raise your hand.
Yes. The meaning of jazz has changed, right? Because early on, one of the first talking movies in the United States was called The Jazz Singer, and it was Al Jolson. But it wasn't a lot of improvisation like jazz later became identified with, right? So it's progressed. Do you see that jazz is now plateaued, or do you think it will change again?
It's, it's constantly changing, but sometimes this change is not, you can't say a dramatic change, because one was swing era and then bebop, that big change in the rhythm, in harmonies and melodies. Then it was cool jazz, so mild, and there was a hot, so really powerful, energetic music of bebop, and many notes. But then it was the cool, where it's not that many notes. The vibe was really cool, and it was Miles Davis in that era, and Dave Brubeck, and Lee Konitz, and Lenny Tristano, so and some other, Gil Evans. Then it was again so-called neo-bop, again high energy, many notes. Then it was Coltrane with his new so-called sheets of sounds, and then he started playing some avant-garde, and when he played many choruses of long solos, and there was some different techniques of improvisation. It was free, ornate chord. Basically, their solos were not based on the harmony. They were free in harmony and rhythm. Then it was performances. Then we went to Anthony Braxton in terms of new music, and also was then there was a so-called fusion, the mix of jazz and rock. So the experimental group like Mahavishnu Orchestra, where John McLaughlin played with Billy Cobham, and they had many different rhythms. I mean, they're not playing for 4/4 like it used to be in jazz. 3/4, maybe 5/4 when Paul Desmond will take 5. But there was combining different rhythms, 3/4, 11/8. Then it could be like 4/4. I mean, they always change. You can't follow that unless you really have an experience of listening and liking it. But it was great. Then there was a group, Weather Report, with Wayne Shorter and Joe Zawinul. Two greatest musicians is united. They start experimenting with electronic instruments, with synthesizers, with the bass guitar instead of contrabass. But then again, and more avant-garde musicians start, learning Schoenberg and Stockhausen and going into that direction, which is not easy to understand. That's you have to not understand, but your ears supposed to adjust to that. Your ear, it's like a food. Sometimes you can, people in Europeans and Americans, we eat food, we maybe can put some little salt. Some people put a lot of pepper. Some people like spices, different. So that's was music too, with the music too. And sometimes in the beginning it can be too spicy for you, but then when you get used to it, you won't be able to eat without spices. So the same with the music, you kind of, your ears, your soul, your emotions maybe need that house sometimes, or even all the time, because I don't know why, but still, so that's what happened. So jazz music went through the 100 years, went through all the changes that, let's say, classical music had. In the beginning it was simple, it was certain harmony, certain rhythms, but you wouldn't expect somebody right in the Mozart era, right like Ravel. You wouldn't expect that. So, but jazz went through the same development of music, but in a short period of time. And now to expect something new, of course, it will come. When it will come, I don't know, but we try to find our own voice, knowing all the styles. Sometimes you have to constantly work on to become first of all your own voice, so people recognize you. But also you have to work on something new, to find something new. It's hard. It's not easy. Basically, everything was already done. What can you do? You can go to any rhythms. You can combine rap with jazz. Already done. So it's not. You won't see that change in jazz, I think, until this the genius like Charlie Parker or Coltrane come. So that's it's our destiny to create that kind of atmosphere, so people will be interested in coming up and being a jazz musician, then be a revolutionary in a good sense of that word. And but jazz is not dead. Jazz is not. It has so much, and you can choose from. And as much as a jazz musician work hard and looking for something so he can give that emotions that he want to give to people, will be real big. You can make with your position people smile. You can make them cry. You can make them just feel everything that we wanted to feel in our life, to feel good with yourself. So that's an agenda, and of course we have to constantly look for new emotions, for new way to express this emotion. So that's why we're working. That's why we have an Academy of Jazz. That's why we have such talented people everywhere. We have this. A few years ago, everybody talked about 9 years old pianist Joe Alexander from Indonesia. Now he's 14, but he's 9 years old. He was playing like Herbie Hancock. So maybe he will come up with something. Maybe some other people. But still, we know it didn't come to the end of the creation, creativity, and the end of new style. Some of the same in classical. It's the same.
Thank you.
I'm just wondering, are there any difference between New Orleans jazz and let's say Kansas City jazz, or it's pretty much the same American school?
Say it again.
Are there any difference between style of New Orleans jazz and Kansas City jazz, or it's pretty much the same American school, jazz school?
Yes.
Chicago.
But jazz basically started in New Orleans and then went to Chicago, and then Kansas City. I mean, there was, Kansas City had his own hero in Count Basie. Count Basie, and that style, that's one of my favorite big bands of all time. Count Basie with his riffs and his energy and his precise things. And New Orleans had his own style, more. Some people don't like this word, but we also know as a Dixieland.
Yeah.
So, and what form was in Kansas City was more in a swing big band style when the jazz basically started in Kansas City. This was their style with the Count Basie. I think Charlie Parker is from Kansas City. When he came to Kansas City for the first time. When he was Charlie Parker. And but New Orleans, we were just in case. Now I had big. So, but now the styles in America is the same, right? Charlie Parker in Kansas City.
Thank you.
Yes. But in New Orleans, the city with a lot of blues, a lot of what do you call this another style that they have? Well, bluegrass. Huh? The Bourbon Street, yeah, but there's no jazz club in Bourbon Street. Used to be, it's not Harbor, the jazz club on the street that Parallel, close to Parallel. We played there with Wynton Marsalis's brother, Delfield Marsalis, the trombonist, who played with his big band. They had two big bands, in a small setting, but it was fun.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
And there was a question there.
Yes,
I don't have a question. I just wanted to mention, since we were talking about jazz, somebody who was before Lundstrom is Eddie Rosner, who was not mentioned.
Yes.
And of course there was, I'm showing my age, and of course there was Leningradsky Dixieland, which was also a very...
They're still there.
Yeah, but it started in the 60s.
But Eddie Rosner started in the 30s.
Oh no, Eddie Rosner is earlier, before Lundstrom, but Leningradsky Dixieland was before Garaniano, before some other famous people, I think.
No, I think they probably the same age with Garaniano for sure.
Started at the same time?
Yeah.
But in any event, there was a big event and it was early. Soviet jazz, at least in my memory.
Yes, yeah, but actually you're right, the Leningrad Dixieland, but I don't remember. Remember I was talking about I don't think they were they were just based in Leningrad and they played in Leningrad. They maybe were going to some festivals which started in the 60s.
Right.
But before that they didn't have now in 1978 they become a professional ensemble, but before that they were all first of all working as engineers or doctors, like Vladimir Litkin, and the pianist is a doctor. Usiskin, the clarinet player, was also an engineer. The drummer I don't remember. If he was an engineer. Yes.
Question.
Yeah.
My teacher, Yuri Nikolaevich Polopov at Moscow Conservatory, he was a professor at Moscow Conservatory. He taught courses in harmony, and he was probably the only professor at Moscow Conservatory in 1978 who was madly in love with jazz. So he taught us 2 or 3 weeks of jazz harmony, and then he collaborated with Igor Butman on a famous collection which is called Jazz Harmony. I know that now people are very critical about his approach because he's a general theorist and so on. What do you think about this collection? And would you accept it? Well, my wife also has something to say. We are both musicians. Don't you think, my second question, that jazz can save classical music in a sense? Okay, so about Holokov here.
I heard the name, but I saw that book that you are talking about. it's a really good book, and I mean for all we didn't have any books, like maybe the first one with the jazz harmony, and people still learn jazz harmony from that book. But now we have different books from the United States, most of the time, Berkeley School of Music books,
That's long time.
Juilliard and everything else. But it's a good book, and it was enough to start and to get to the basics. So,
Thank you for saying so.
Yes. I don't like when people criticizing anything that's done and serious. I mean, there's a few books that I have. In Russian books, actually, because we didn't have that much information, we couldn't extend even that to publish that kind of book. It was not easy. So this book has all what you need concentrated in one book. There's no yes, there's no that you don't really need. Some books have many, as we say, water. But this book is just right what you need. Like as a jazz musician, you need this. You have to learn this to play that. You have to learn this and that. And that's what is good about this book. And another you said something about
Can jazz save some classical music? You can play Rondo a la Turk, Mozart, beat it up, jazz it up, or something like Handel's. There's music.
I like to quote some classical
Child is
music.
born, and you can add the beats and.
We always quote. The good jazz musician can incorporate in his improvisation some very new song that everybody knows, or motifs that everybody knows. Because sometimes when musicians improvising, sometimes you have to follow his ideas, his fantasy, music. You have to follow, and sometimes you can lose. You can lose him at some point. But when musicians will play some kind of known melody, incorporated, talented, and incorporated it in some good way, that first of all people will wake up, because sometimes they go to sleep. Oh, they heard something.
У вас была с Башметом у вас была программа. Триумф классики джаза.
Yeah, we had yes, we collaborated with Yuri Bashmet on many different occasions, and we had a great concert. We actually had a big tour in the United States with the classical music. So we will save classical music. We will save planet and the world.
Thank you so much. We have time for only one question, please.
Yes, please. Thank you very much for the concert yesterday. It was absolutely amazing. I'm a bit shocked when you say Ricky Martin was playing at the Montreux Festival, because I remember I was really, really young when Didier Lockwood played at the Montreux Festival, but I was there and it was a great concert. I wanted to know if you had played in the Moissac Jazz Festival in France, or if you had interacted with French jazzmen, because there's quite a few of them, and also whether you had played with the Ramsey Lewis Trio or heard of them, and if they influenced some of your jazz as well. The Ramsey Lewis Trio, in Crowd, for instance, which was here in Washington DC back in the early 60s, I think.
No, I didn't play in Marseille. Winter Marsalis is always playing and inviting me, but somehow the schedule is not letting us. We have our festival in Sochi during that period. I was in Antibes Jazz Festival. We played in I think 2015. We played. Of course, we played in Paris. We played in. Duke de Lombard. Duke de Lombard we played. And yes, I know Didier Lockwood. Last year we played. I think it was one of the last concerts of a great Michel Legrand.
Yeah.
We played with his concerto for saxophone, for alto saxophone, and I played. And he said he will write a concert for me. He wanted to write, and unfortunately, passed away, yes. And of course, my song called French Connections, because the first time I didn't have a name, and I played with the French musician Alain Mallet. And that's what it. So I said, how should I call it the song? I said, okay, your French Connection. So, and it stayed. So yes, you know, French musicians are one of the best in the world. Like, you know. Also, we have we have the great violinist, also Jean-Luc Ponty, and I played with him. And, you know, the last one was.
About whether you played with the musicians of the Ramsey Lewis trio, or...
I know music of Ramsey Lewis. I have his recordings, but I never played with him. Maybe I don't know who he was playing with. But I played here in Washington D.C. I played with a pianist named Larry Willis, and there's a pianist who was here. We had a group called Jazz Bust. We had that kind of Jazz Bust with Louis Scher, the guy from Washington D.C., and Tony Cecil, the bass player. So, but Ramsey Lewis, no. But I really like when he's playing.
Maybe it is appropriate for me to say a few words. Igor is a great ambassador of bringing our two countries together. And he started it more than 10 years ago. I remember your visit to Washington in 98 and even before. And I would say that your contribution is just very, very valuable. To my mind, this form of music is the shortest way for us to get that understanding and trust. And it is very significant that you are right now at the Cultural Center, which is the part of Россотрудничество. Maybe you know this organization and back in
my dear friend.
Dear friend, my point is, when you said about ottepel, when practically our jazz was back to life, it was in 1961, and I happened to be there in Moscow at the Morozov Friendship House. Now, maybe you know. And Duke Ellington delivered there his concert, like the first for Muscovites. Everything was forbidden, but the jazz of Duke Ellington was allowed at the Cultural Center, at the Friendship House in Moscow. The jam session lasted through all the night. People played together. They met for the first time in their life. And then I noticed, and that is now very visible through all our life, that through jazz, through musicians of those two countries, no languages, nothing is needed. Everything comes through your soul and through your mind and through your everything. So what I'm saying here, Igor, is very, very good that you came to the Cultural Center. But you deserve this great order, the great order from Russia and the United States, how you are trying to bring us in this difficult time, to bring us together. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear friends. Let's give another round of applause for Maestro.
Thank you very much. It was another great day here in the United States, in Washington D.C. We had a great, this afternoon we had sightseeing tour. Again, we every time we come here, we learn so much, and in music and in life and everything. So, and I hope we can have more meetings in this wonderful Russian Cultural Center. Actually, I'm really wondering why you're doing it for the first time. But
Because the embassy was more active in inviting you.
okay,
We
so
were
let's change it. Maybe we're gonna have some. You see, good things are coming. I mean, they're like there's snow. Revolve, yes.
Maestro, we have
Evolving, yes.
we have your word on it. So next time it's
Yes.
going to be not a lecture but a master class
Exactly.
with a musical instrument.
Exactly. We are very happy to do that.
Thank you so much for this wonderful lecture.